welcome to the Vertical Log Cabin. So it is Sunday afternoon actually. We just had church this morning and now we have come home to have lunch. And as you see on Sunday mornings, it's really busy because we get to church early for our early morning breakfast at church. So the kitchen's a little still, needing some dishes done. We got some eggs that need to be washed from our chickens we collected. We have our vegetables and stuff to go to the compost, and over here we have our garlic because I will roast these and I will make garlic powder out of them later, so I saved those separate. So we got the boys here to visit with us, our friends from school. So they are having their own lunch. They're having chicken tenders and macaroni and cheese and salad or carrots, and they're having their own special lunch because we are going to have our own adult lunch today. So they had a pretty good special going on yesterday, so we decided to have an adult lunch of salmon and lobster tail. So we are in the process of preparing the garlic and herb butter that I'm going to put on the salmon, and then we're going to saute the lobster tails in a garlic and butter, salt and pepper saute and get it all ready. And then once we get to a certain part, we'll see you back in a minute and show you how we're going to bake it.
Is it hot?
Okay, so I have continued to prep this kind of oily, buttery sauce, which has these ingredients, which is some ginger, garlic. I decided to add some rosemary and sage because I really do like those flavors. And I love garlic. I love garlic, but I also love ginger. So once I did those, then I kind of got inspired to add a little teriyaki. This is my own creation. We're going to see how it tastes. I just felt like experimenting a little with the salmon, and also I added just a little bit of the vinegar just to give it a little bit of acidity. So I'm going to brush this on. This has olive oil and butter in it as well, so that I can just brush that on. It has some salt and pepper in it, and get this completely covered so that when it goes in, all this stuff will bake and melt together and hopefully seep in a little bit and make a nice flavor for our salmon. Now for our lobster, I went ahead and started this one. As you see, you can just come in here, cut the membrane, because you can pull these out and bake them. Put them in the oven to bake them, but I'm actually using my brother-in-law's way of doing it, which is to remove it completely and then saute it with butter and garlic. We used to go to the Keys and catch them fresh during lobster season, and we go back to our campground, and that is how he would cook it. He just throw it right there with some butter and garlic, and it's really fast and really easy. So you got to take them out, and once you do, I have a pan over here for the butter and the garlic and the salt already sitting over there. And once we put them in, I'll show you how quickly they cook. So join us again in just a minute. So we're going to first put this in, uncovered, 350 degrees. I'm going to do about 20 minutes and check it, make sure it looks done. It is done after about 20 minutes. Then we can get this going, heating up. I think I might switch it to Okay, and for the salad, I always start by adding, we already have the spring mix, cucumbers, I shredded up a carrot, tomatoes, you can put onions, but I always make sure I put my olives with a little bit of the juice to go in it to give it some flavor for the seasoning, because I really don't like store-bought dressing. I don't like the flavor. I don't know if it's the preservative in them or there's some flavor that they put in there that I do not like. So for me, I make my own, and so I just sprinkle on some garlic powder. And this is to your taste, of course, however much garlic powder you like. As I said, I love garlic, so I do a good amount. Then I do some salt, get some pepper in there, and then I add my olive oil, and you can also regulate this amount if you like get a little bit more oil, or if you're trying to watch your weight, you can do a little less. And I am a very vinegary person, so I do like a little extra vinegar. So none of this I measure, it's all to your taste, but then I go ahead and put some apple cider vinegar in it and mix, and that is as simple as it is when it comes to my dressing, because like I said, I don't really like the taste, on top of the fact that maybe there's stuff in there that's not great for you, so I just prefer to make this as my dressing, and it mixes really well, especially if you make rice with it or something, you mix it together as you're eating, it's really good. And it looks like our butter, I smell our butter and our garlic over here. So what I'm gonna do is, you can see it sizzling, I'm just gonna take these lobsters and place them in there. Give them a little swish around with the garlic. It does not take lobster, they're like shrimp, it doesn't take them long. You'll start to see them turn white. And then you can go ahead and flip them around, get the butter and garlic all over them. You can see they're already starting to harden, turn white in this sauce. It's a little, my seafood really cooked. Some of you might not like it as cooked, but I like to make sure it is cooked through. All right, so you can see it's been about 2 minutes, I'd say, and our lobster is done. Lobster's very fast and very delicious. The next thing I'm going to do is just melt some butter, because I do like to get mine in butter, and lemon, squeeze a lemon on it, and then lobster's done, ready to go. Now we're just waiting for the salmon, and we can have this as an appetizer. All right, so our salmon is done. I added 5 more minutes just to make sure. As I said, I really don't like my salmon or any of my seafood to be raw, so I double checked with an extra 5 minutes. So here's our salmon. We got our extra lemon. We got our little Victoria, who's usually my helper, but she don't want to cook no seafood, right? So we got our table set up with the most amazing view. We don't even have to set flowers on our table because we have flowers all around us. In fact, sometimes right there it is. Oh no, that's not it. There was a hummingbird out there just 5 minutes ago, flying around out on our flowers. Oh, it is done. It is done. Get a nice piece. And we always have skin on the bottom that Zelda loves to eat when we're done.
Hold on.
And there's Zelda. She's ready for her skins. Mmm, that smells good, right? She's gonna get her salmon skins. All right, we're here. It's finally ready.
Here we go. Thank you very much. I have the best wife ever. Thanks for the lunch. Look, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.